All right, the link for today's class, the YouTube link is right there. That's the YouTube link for today's class for all those who want to have access to the YouTube link for the class today. Um, all right, a pleasant good evening to everyone. Welcome to this evening's class of Steele. Today is Friday, the 26th of November, Joshua's birthday. He's 7 years old today and getting a big boy now. The years are rolling by so fast. The prince is 7 years old today. And I want to welcome and acknowledge the person of our COO, Her Excellency Doreen Burunji out of Uganda. Your Excellency Doreen Burunji, you're very welcome to class this evening. I also want to identify the person of our Chief of Protocol, His Excellency Dr. Donald Ewers in London. And I want to acknowledge in his absence, but in the presence of the First Lady, I want to acknowledge our ambassador, His Excellency Olusegun Olukoya, who is the president for our youth organization in the class of Steele. I want to identify Her Excellency Jeannie Steele, the First Lady, who is responsible for the coordinating of membership and the coordinating of His Excellency Dr. Steele, making sure that I'm okay. And I want to give a special welcome this evening to our honored guest in the class of Steele, as usual, when he's available in the country from his busy schedule and travels, His Majesty Edwin Madu. Your Majesty, you are very welcome into the class of Steele this evening. Your Majesty, please greet the class and the nations this evening. Your Majesty Edwin Madu. You're still muted, Your Majesty.
Okay. Good evening, Your Excellency, Dr. Steele. Good evening, other excellencies in the house. It's a pleasure to be with you this evening. Good evening.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for being with us in our class, Your Majesty. You're very welcome. This evening is Friday evening, and I decided that I'm going to throw a challenge out there. I'm going to throw a challenge out there for all of us. One of the things that is happening quite recently is a lot of individuals are becoming discouraged and overwhelmed, and they're free falling and are finding it very difficult to cope with the lack of currency, the difficulties that they're being faced with financially, the difficulties that they're faced with managing responsibilities, difficulties that are being faced managing all of the dynamics that are important for sustainability. And somebody called me. I had quite a few calls from a number of individuals that are asking me, how do you cope? How do you cope, Your Excellency? How do you cope when things are really, really difficult and is almost impossible? And I challenge myself with thinking, how do you respond to a request or a concern when individuals globally are pressed and pressed beyond measure? How do you respond to them? What advice can I give? What support can I give other than somebody saying, just pay the bills, just pay my bills and I will be happy. Just foot the costs and everything will be fine. How do you cope? How do you communicate with your friends that are struggling? A lot of people are not communicating with friends and loved ones and associates because they're going through financial difficulties and hardships. So sometimes when individuals are going through these dynamics, individuals ostracize them, abandon them, leave them by the wayside because they're having challenges managing their own personal affairs. But then we also have organizations that support and help others that look for funding and financing and support from others to keep doing what they're doing. So there is a major, major crisis that is going on globally, and everybody wants a solution. As a matter of fact, the suicide rate has increased. And the reason why that is because it's actually the truth. There is a lot of pressure. Wave at me if you agree with what I'm saying. Come on, just tell me if you agree with me. There's a lot of pressure. It's a lot. And when I think as a mentor, how do I help individuals? How do I impart wisdom or strength or confidence or assurance to individuals when there is so much uncertainties? What do I do? What do I say? So I'm going to give you a few thoughts this evening, and I hope that they will help you. I'm not going to behave as an authority on the subject, but I want to share some things personal with you as a mentor, and I hope that you will take wisdom from some of those things. So I'm going to take you on a journey with me. Please go on this journey with me, and I hope that on this journey with me, you will find a solution or a suggestion, or you will find some kind of confidence in what I will share with you. Something will jump out at you and grab you. The first thing that I want you to write down is, I am not alone. You should write that down. You really should. You really should write that note down. I am not alone in this financial crisis. I'm not alone. Let that sink in. You see, sometimes persons will look at me and say, why do you want me to hear or care about other people? I don't care about other people. I don't care about what's going on in the rest of the world. I'm not interested. What I'm interested in how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? How am I going to support myself? How am I going to fix my problem? How am I going to get a solution for myself? But if you want my genuine counsel, I want you to follow me on this journey and take notes. Note number one, I am not alone. You see, when we isolate ourselves in a situation and look at everybody else and thinks that everybody else has reached somewhere that we haven't reached, or everybody else is doing better off than us. They're not struggling. They're not going through hardships. They're not going through difficulties. We are in an isolated situation all by ourselves. When we do that, we increase our torment. You should take that note. We increase our personal torment when we behave or we think that we're all alone. We increase our personal torment. Who would like to be thinking that everybody else is doing good, everybody else is surviving, everybody else is comfortable, everybody else is having a meal on their table and everything is okay with them, and I am the only person walking and going through this heartache, this pain, this stress, Family and friends are calling on you to help them. People that are outside are calling for support and assistance. And you feel as though you're the only person incapable of helping anyone at this current time. Well, the first thing to debunk and the first thing to eradicate in your mind is that you're not alone. You're not alone. I bet if I ask for you in the class of Steele to wave your hand at me, I will not do it, but to wave your hand at me if you're going through some difficulties at this time, like everybody else all over the world, I could bet everybody will wave their hands. Why? Because it's not strange. But I want to ask a second question. Have you ever been here and things change before? Have you ever been in this horrible situation of the financial crisis that is facing the world right now? Have you ever been in the position that you're in right now, if it's a difficult one, but then realize that you have also come out of it and things got really good? Has it ever happened to you? You see, the reason why I asked that question immediately after the first one is because you need to remember things change. Things will not always remain the same unless, of course, you just roll over and play dead. Or you just sit one place and refuse to try to see what you could do to change your circumstances. But things will change.
We're not hearing you, sir. I'm not hearing.
So what does that mean, that you've answered that you're not hearing me? Okay, can you hear me again? All right, what's the last thing you heard, Your Excellency? What's the last thing you heard? I don't want to miss my thought. What's the last thing you heard me saying?
I think about things will change. You won't remain the same.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. So I want to go to that point. Things will change. Why do I do what I do in the class of Steele as a mentor? I'm going to tell you why. The journey to change is so painful sometimes, so hard. I remember in my younger days when mentors or friends or individuals say to me, things are going to get better, Michael. Things are going to be okay. Let me be honest with you. Those words don't have too much value when your immediate situation is painful. Then your immediate desire is for relief from the pain you're in. Those words don't have a lot of value, unfortunately. But I want to say something to us, not you, to us. What do I mean by to us? Sometimes you need to encourage yourself when everybody around you is discouraged, frustrated, overwhelmed, and need to be encouraged. So sometimes you need to encourage yourself. Oh, Bishop, look at you. You're in a nice suit and nice shirt and you're nicely shaved and you look so awesome and everything is okay. Listen, I have individuals that are calling me for counsel that are millionaires and billionaires. They're very wealthy people, but they're struggling so badly right now. You might not understand that because their burden is for their staff. They have so many people that they're responsible for, and they're struggling badly. Do you think the 2 or 3 persons that call you could create as much headache as a corporate director that has 5,000 or 10,000 staff? Come on. I want you to roll with me. Are you going to roll with me? Just roll with me. Some of you have 2 and 3 people that call you for financial support and help, and you feel as if the bottom of your barrel is going to cave in. Like you don't even know what to do. But there are others who have thousands that depend on them, and they can't do anything right now. Bishop, is this a doom and gloom message? Is this a doom and gloom lecture discussion this evening? No, it is not. It is not a doom and gloom. No. I want you to see, number one, you're not alone. I want you to see, number two, if you've been here before and things got better, things will get better again. They will get better. This is just a process. It's just a period. But you have to walk through it. You can't stop. You can't stop. You have to keep improving yourself. You have to keep adding value to what your expectation of a return on investment is going to be. You have to keep adding value to it. I want you to take notes this evening, because when you come off of this mentoring session this evening, I want you to be at the place where you're recognizing, I could do this. I got this. I got this. Say that. I got this. I got this. I got it. Thank you, Joshua. My son is behind there saying, you got this, Daddy. You got this. You do. You do. But I want you to declare to yourself, you've got this. Oh, but you don't know the debt collectors that are calling me. You don't know the amount of people that are begging me that I have to pay them this and pay them that. I want to ask you a very interesting question. Please don't laugh, and please don't think that I am being irresponsible when it comes to your responsibilities and your financial commitments. But I want to ask you a question. God forbid that you should go to your maker. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Who's going to be getting the harassing? I listened to a very profound video today. Very profound video. As a matter of fact, I might even challenge you who might not have heard the video. If I say to you, I'm going to give you $1 million right now. $1 million, I'm going to give it to you. No questions asked, no repayment, nothing. I'm going to give you $1 million. How many of you would say, that's me, and count me in and get excited? Wave at me if you would get excited. If I say to you, Minister Ewers is already rolling his hands, and Minister Ewers is, Doreen is there, yes. I said, Chukemeka, yes. His Majesty is even saying, yes, His Majesty. I want to ask you a question. Dr. Charles is saying yes. Oh, Adiola is saying yes as well. I want to ask you another question. I want to ask you a very next question. If I say to you that Right now, it's 7:33. And I'm going to give you $10 million, but you will not wake up in the morning. I'm going to give you $10 million, but at 12 midnight, you will not wake up. That's it. But I'm going to give you $10 million. Would you choose the $10 million and not being able to wake up, or forget about it, you want to wake up tomorrow? I really want you to think about it. Don't get arrogant and crazy. I genuinely want you to think about it. I really do. Would you want the $10 million and you cannot wake up? Somebody put an X. Adiola has already put an X. Dr. Charles is laughing. You're going to get the $10 million cash. But at 12 midnight, you cannot wake up. Who's going to take it? Would you still take it? I'm talking to you. Would you choose to have $10 million, but you're not going to wake up? Wave at me. Your Majesty, Your Majesty, you're the king. You're the highest authority. Your Majesty, would you take the $10 million, but not be able to wake up, Your Majesty?
No. I will not take the $10 million. Even the $1 billion I will not take.
Aha.
Choose to leave. Yeah, choose to leave.
I'm agreeing with you, Your Majesty. Adiola, I see Adiola has a big X. Adiola, would you take the $10 million but not wake up?
No, I won't take it.
If it was a billion, the $1 billion?
Yes, yes, I won't take it. It can't replace my soul. I need to leave.
Chukemeka, I can't see you. So Chukemeka, would you take it?
I can't take it. Of what use is the money if I'm not able to wake up tomorrow morning?
Doreen, Your Excellency Doreen Barunji, you have so many needs and so many people are dependent on you. Will you take it, Doreen, and not wake up tomorrow?
I will not take it, Your Excellency. I won't.
It is guaranteed. You are going to have it. Only thing is that at midnight, the death angel is going to say, please, you have signed a deal with me. Come, I'm taking you now. You can take it. Will you take it?
No.
Jeannie, my beautiful wife. Where's the first lady? First lady, will you take it?
Yes, please.
Will you take the $10 million, but you cannot wake up tomorrow morning?
Yes. No, Joshua, we want to wake up, don't we? So no, thank you.
No, you wouldn't take it. All right. Dr. Charles, what do you say, Dr. Charles?
I don't need it because I know if I am alive, I can make more than that. My vision passes that.
Thank you, Dr. Charles. Thank you. Chukwuemeka, I was listening for you, you know. I heard it. Did you say, Chuko, did I miss you in the midst of everything? You said, yes?
Yes, I said I wouldn't take it. Of what use is the money if I'm not able to wake up tomorrow morning?
Thank you, Chukwuemeka. I want to tell all of us something. The truth. You value waking up more than $10 million, but you wake up and cry because you don't have $100. Take that note. You would not take $10 million, so you cannot wake up the next day, but you wake up every day frustrated, overwhelmed, stressed out, maybe about $20, $100, $1,000. Why is it? Why is that? You see, I'm challenging us. I'm challenging us. You would not let anybody give you $10 million and tell you you can't wake up tomorrow. But you go to sleep stressed out mentally, emotionally, psychologically. And when you wake up, you don't want to face the day. But you would not let anybody pay you $1 billion so you don't have to wake up another day. Oh, y'all should just pause and say, my God, have I really been this horrible to the fact that I get the opportunity to wake up every single day and try again? Listen to me. I'm your mentor. Listen to me. I'm your friend. I practice what I preach. I practice what I teach. I live what I teach. When I was living on the streets of Silver Sands in Barbados for a period, and I was walking along the side of the road and the beach where the fellas do their fishing so that I can eat the bait that they're using to fish with because I was so hungry. And I was walking along the patches in the beaches where they have grapes and, you know, these little grapes on the beach, sea grapes. I used to eat so many sea grapes to get a belly full sometimes that my mouth would be tied up. And, you know, I've been through some rough times. And I remember when my stomach got as small as a fist because of hunger. You see, don't feel bad or sad. This is not a bad or sad conversation. I'm not looking for sympathy or anything like that. I'm talking to us. I'm talking to us. How was I behaving at that time? Can I tell you how I was at that time? If you look at the map of Barbados, it's in Silver Sands, is in the upper side of Barbados, and then I went to a church called the People's Cathedral. I used to walk, I don't know, maybe it's about 6 or 7 kilometers. I used to walk to church. I used to walk to church. I remember walking the time and the soles of the shoes were off. The soles of my shoes came off. And I took the laces and I tied the laces under the shoes. And I used to walk and drag my feet to go to church to better myself. Because a pastor, somebody was telling me, oh, the best is yet to come. You're too blessed to be stressed. You're going to be okay. God has a plan. I heard all those things. All those things, I heard them. But after church, everybody was going home. And I was walking back up to wherever. I had those periods. I don't talk about them because they're nothing to talk about. People see you and they think that you didn't go through anything. You just reached where you're at. How did you get so humble? I don't have anything to be arrogant about. Your Majesty, people like, why are you so humble, Your Excellency? How can you, how? And I say to them, I don't, maybe one of these days, if I have something that I could consider this is worth being arrogant, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to see what I become, Your Majesty. But thus far, God has not graced me with anything that I could consider myself worthy of being arrogant. So all I could be is humble. Oh, you let people walk all over you and step on you. Well, you're so humble. I'm not humble. I don't have anything to scream about. Your Majesty, are you with me? We don't have, no matter how high we reach in life, we don't have anything worthy. of being arrogant about. But I was bettering myself. I was creating an environment where no matter how bad the situation looks, I'm going to better myself. No matter how difficult the situation is, I'm going to better myself. Some of you are so stressed and frustrated and overwhelmed that you don't find opportunities to do better. How did the class of Steele come out? The COVID period hit us. Nobody could travel. Nobody could do anything. What did I decide? What do you have that you could do better with? The world is on lockdown. The world is on closed down. What do you have that you, Dr. Steele, Michael Steele, can still remain relevant, credible, that you can still add value? What do you have? I worked more hard during the COVID period than when it wasn't COVID. I want to encourage you. You're not alone. I was sharing with one of my friends that when the COVID period started, when I heard the first couple of deaths in Barbados and I'm in the UK, my heart tore out of my chest. And I immediately wanted to make plans to go back to Barbados to go to the funeral of loved ones. Then I got another death. And while I had not even gotten over the death of one, I was mourning the death of another one, then another death. Ooh. And I went through a period that I will tell you the honest truth, over 20 plus persons that I know personally, personal friends that I love, that love me and I care about, have died. 2 of my uncles, personal family. And what happened in that process is that you became emotionally confused at first, emotionally confused, because you're crying for one person, you're walking in the park and water is running out of your eyes while you're walking through the park, and then somebody else more important dies, and you're doing the same thing. And then somebody else in Canada dies that is even closer to you. So now you're not thinking of going to Barbados. You're thinking, am I going to go to Barbados or am I going to go to Canada? Or what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? And then somebody from the States dies. And then your uncle in the UK dies. And my dad in Barbados is in a place where he's thinking he doesn't even know how he's going to get to the UK to bury his brother. And what happened in that period of crisis? You just got numb. You just stopped crying. You just stopped mourning. You just realize that there's so many people that are dying, so many people that are mourning, so many people that are being bereaved at the moment. And then it hit us even more closer. Our neighbor, right next door neighbor, he died. My next door neighbor. You see, what difficulties and crisis does to us as individuals is it makes us more resilient. It makes us more focused if we have on the right head on us. It makes us find new alternatives based on the fact that the ones we had are no longer working. It makes us realize that this is just a process. The loved ones that I've lost during COVID, it doesn't hurt as much anymore. I've moved on. But at that point, I felt like I was going to die. Me and my wife were in the UK during that period, and we went through a horrible experience. Too horrible to even discuss it. But what happened? We survived. Listen to me. You are going to make it. And the people around you that you think they're going to fall apart and fall to pieces, they'll be okay. Just encourage them, hold on. Hold on. My friend Sam in the United States, he has a famous statement. Oh, Mike, those things, they just turn on a dime. They turn on a dime, Mike. They turn on a dime. Everything gonna be okay, Mike. It's all right. It's okay. When I'm listening to him during the crisis, I'm not hearing that it's going to be okay. I'm not thinking that it's going to be okay. Can I give you a wake-up call? The class of Steele is my solution to dealing with the troubles that I am faced with personally. Because if I help you and I encourage you, what am I doing? I'm encouraging myself. I'm helping myself. If I tell you don't quit, when I get off this call and I sit down, my wife looks at me quietly. Why? Because I have to exercise the same thing I just told you. Don't quit. Don't throw in the towel. Don't give up. It's going to be okay. The other thing that I want to ask you to do, document good times. You see, a lot of you, you would be walking down the road, for example. As a matter of fact, I'll give you a very interesting scenario. I remember many years when I was homeless and I was going through my difficult times as well. I remember one day I got on a van and I went straight down to the back seat of the van, and I didn't have bus fare to take the two vans, so I was going to take one van and then walk the rest of the way. And I got in the back of the van and I sat down. And when I looked on the ground, I saw $1, a silver shiny dollar, $1, which was enough fare for me to take the next bus. The next van, when I got off, it was enough. And I was smiling. I got off the van and I was like dancing and I was like, woohoo. And I was like, I was so happy. Because you learn when you're going through difficult times in life that when you get a good break, you have to celebrate it. You have to milk it. You have to enjoy it. Somebody says to you, why are you overreacting? It was just $1 you found. It was not $1 I found. It was a journey of 5 kilometers that I don't have to walk that I got saved from. I don't know what you're seeing, but what I'm seeing is I have been saved from walking 5+ kilometers in the cold in the night. That's what I've been saved from. That's why I'm excited. Do you celebrate little victories or do you complain they were not enough? Oh, I need this to pay my rent, my mortgage, my house bills, my food, my doctor bills, and this and that, and this and that, and the next and the third, and you have such a long list of needs. And then somebody gives you a small little thing that covers one of those needs, yet you still complain, you still murmur, you're still angry at the world, like the world owes you something special that it doesn't owe anybody else. Where's your gratitude? Oh, I don't have anything to be thankful for. Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? I did. Who? I did. I heard you. Guess what? You woke up this morning. And if somebody had offered to give you $10 million not to wake up, you wouldn't take it. I'll tell you all a very interesting secret. Nobody better don't challenge me with that, because if somebody is going to give me $1 billion and tell me that I will not wake up afterwards, I'm going to say to them one single thing. First thing I want to confirm, the $1 billion belongs to me, right? Yes. I will sign it over to Jeannie and Joshua and tell them have a good life. I'm so sorry, but to be quite honest with you, I'm telling you the honest truth. I would want to know that I left Jeannie and Joshua and my family very, very well off, better than my family left me. So yes, I would go. Chances are I would go. I'd want to spend the last moments with Jeannie, telling her how special she is and how much I guess if the other side is a place that I can see her when she comes, I'll see her when she gets there. Because you want the truth? No suffering is easy. When you can't pay your bills and feed your family, it's not easy. But guess what? Life. When you have life, you have hope. Each morning you get up, there's an opportunity for you to be successful. When I was 19 years old, going 20, and I was walking the streets of Walls in Silver Sands, and somebody had said to me, "Oh, young man, come here. You're going to travel the world so much. You're going to be so respected. You're going to be an ambassador. You're going to be an advisor in London. You're going to go to Dubai. You're going to go to Chile. You're going to go through Africa. You're going to travel all through Europe." Come on, somebody. If somebody had said that to me when I was on the streets, I would be laughing my head off. But if I look at you here and I tell you that in the next 2 years, all of you are going to be so financially stable and so successful because of the crisis that you're going to be coming out of, and all of you are going to be having people asking you, how did you make it? How did you become so successful? If I tell you that right now, which I know that is true, none of you will want to believe me. All of you will want to be fretting and wanting to know, why am I going to stick with him? Why am I going to listen to him? Why am I going to walk beside him? Why? Because our present circumstances a lot of times clouds our judgment and our perception and our reality, and it even diffuses the fire that is burning our expectations. I have a wealthy mentor. He's a multi-billionaire. And he has told me about losses. So many losses prior to him becoming where he is. And he smiles at adversity and challenges. As a matter of fact, he's my best mentor. I want to call his name. I want to call his name. My best friend. My very best friend. But he has taught me something. Earn it. Don't worry about what anybody else has. Don't worry about anybody else's position. Stay in your zone and earn it. Don't be intimidated with the levels of life. Don't be intimidated. Don't compromise certain things. Don't compromise your integrity. Don't compromise your ability to travel. Don't compromise it. You see, when you mess up your integrity, that passport that says to you, if you feel in this country or in this diaspora or region, you got options. A lot of people destroy their options where they are by hindering themselves from the ability to move elsewhere. Don't lose your integrity. Keep your integrity. Integrity of business, integrity of stewardship of resources given to you or entrusted to you. Don't abuse authorities that are given to you to better and change your circumstance short term. Short-term gratification does not justify long-term sustainability. Short-term gratification does not justify long-term sustainability. A lot of people have resources in their hand and authority, and they use it wrongfully. Don't abuse your authority or your office. Don't abuse your office because of hardship and difficult times, because the times will change. But when those times change because you violated your office, you lose it. And what will you do when you lose your office in the times that change? I'm going to close with this thought. I'm going to close with this thought this evening. And then I'm going to open the floor for questions and comments. How did you handle it? How did you deal with it? What did you learn from what I shared? What are your thoughts? The most important thing that I have, that I promise you, I'm very arrogant with one thing. It's my character. There are some individuals that are in high positions, respected positions, noble positions. But you see my character, my integrity, and what I've built all these years, it's so precious. If you ask me, would I give up my integrity for $1 million? No, not $1 million. Let's get better. $1 billion, Michael? Can I cause you to do something that you will get locked up, or you'll get, it'll give you a really bad name? You will lose your respect, but it doesn't matter. You'll have $1 million or 5 million or $10 million. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody would think. Would you do it? Welcome to the idiot club, if that's what you will call me being a part of, if I say no. Because the truth is, I'll say no. Why would I say no? Some of the pain of character defaults that I have experienced, true to no fault of my own, have wounded me so greatly that I have discovered they cause me more pain and sorrow than anything else. And over the years, I've discovered it's not worth it. I sleep very good at night. I sleep very, very good at night because of my integrity. Do you sleep good at night? Or are you wrestling with your sleep because when you hear a knock on your door or a police vehicle passing by, you get nervous? Your character is what keeps you in horrible times like we're going through. Your respect, your moral fiber, those are the things that keep you. If I can't eat, but I know that I could drink a glass of water and fast for a couple of days, and I know that nobody wants to kill me because I defrauded them, or nobody wants to take advantage of me, I feel better. Dr. Steele, are you perfect? Have you reached somewhere that we can't reach? No, no. I wrestle as well. It's a fight as well. Minister Ewers is my friend. There are one or two people that you will have in your circle that you can tell them where you're at. Her Excellency Doreen, you have to have a few people, His Majesty. You have to have a few people that you can let them know where you're at in life. While the rest of the world has an opinion and everything, you need to have somebody who knows where you're at. So with all that being said, I'm going to close and tell you, keep your head up. Stay focused. Don't lose your cool. Don't panic. Don't even worry. Just keep on keeping on. In the words of Bishop Troy Miller, my bishop, who's gone on to be with the Lord, keep on keeping on. Some of you would have seen me with that post, keep on keeping on. And if there's somebody that you're hurting because they're hurting, it's normal. Because I hurt because of a lot of people who are hurting, but I can't do anything to alleviate their pain other than tell them, don't give up. And sometimes you have to see that as enough. Don't abandon people that are going through a difficult time. Don't abandon them. Because you might not have the currency to give them, don't abandon them. Give them a good word, a love. Let them know you are there. Don't let them feel as though they are alone. The worst thing you could allow somebody who is going through a difficult time to feel is alone. Just let them know you're there and everything's going to be okay. Just keep on keeping on. I'm Dr. Michael Steele. You've just listened to the Class of Steele broadcast this evening on Friday, the 26th of November, 2021. My son Joshua Steele's birthday today. Thank you for listening. And I hope that it has proven to be encouraging to you as well. And remember, this too will pass. There's a word that said meta tauta, and it came to pass. Meta tauta came to pass. It will not stay. You'll get through this. If I say to the United Kingdom, to Europe, to Africa, to Asia, to the continents, to Dubai, to UAE, you'll get over this. You'll come through it. We're going to be okay. The next generation depends on the decisions that we as leaders make today. Let's stay focused. Let's not throw in the towel. Let's stay focused, be resilient, and keep on keeping on. Keep building, because surely we'll reach the foundation closure, and then we'll get to the building, then we'll get to the roof, then we'll furnish. Might take longer, but we'll get there. Thank you so much. As a rule of authority, I'm going to ask His Majesty to give his comments and his opinion in honor of His Majesty, and then we will kind of have some discussion around the subject. Your Majesty, if you would unmute yourself, please, if you're available. Go ahead, Your Majesty. We're not hearing you if you're speaking, but we see you're unmuted.
Okay, I want to say, please go on. I have visitors, please.
Oh, Your Majesty, then let me release you. It is okay, it is well. Dr. Charles, lend your comments on this evening's session. Dr. Charles.
Yeah. Good evening, Your Excellencies. I think I am blessed today to be in this class. And what I really got from this your words that is good is that good name is better than silver and gold. That in every situation, no matter what, don't compromise your integrity. Because if you compromise your integrity, time is coming when you will seek integrity and it will be far from you. Once you have broken trust, I think you really hammered what was the problem that so many people in leadership in Africa is going through. Because there is a vicious circle and the people think that the only way to break out of vicious circle is through dishonesty. Somebody told me one day, you never can make it with this your truth. After all, everybody is a thief. And I looked at him and said, I am not a thief. I will demonstrate in this word that you can still maintain your integrity and then make it in the end. It could be a matter of time. It may not come now, but I know it will surely come. And this is what I believe in. And that is my consolation that makes me to walk on and hold on. Thank you, Dr. Steele. You really made my day. You remember I told you the reason why I engaged in the class of Steele is that I discovered that there are people that share the same view I share myself, the people of like minds. So thank you very much, sir. And God bless you.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Charles. Always a pleasure having you amongst us in the class of Steele. We're a family and we're building one character at a time. Thank you so very much for being with us. I want to ask our COO in the person of Her Excellency Doreen Burunji out of Uganda. Your Excellency, please share your thoughts on this evening's presentation. What are your thoughts, Your Excellency Dr. Doreen Burunji? Your Excellency Doreen, are you able to unmute? Okay. Okay, I think she's having challenges with her network. Your Excellency, Dr. Ewers, you want to lend your voice to the discussion this evening?
Good evening, Dr. Michael Steele.
Good evening.
And all the excellency in the house. My take on tonight is I would look at the aspect or the situation a different avenue to say encouragement. Oftentimes people are looking for encouragement, whether it is in finance, whether it is at your workplace, whether it is family, whether it is life in general. And sometimes, it's just a kind word can bring somebody to the next stage. sometimes their emotions get the better of them, and people tend to, or us human beings, tend to blow the situation into a mountain. And I'll give examples why I'm saying that. I remember my time of working with social services, I'm worrying, driving home from work, I'm worrying about how am I going to do this? How is my little money going to stretch to pay the mortgage? How am I going to do? And it's always the additional things you're not prepared for financially that adds on. Something come out of the blue. A window may be broken. I didn't put down money to repair a new window. And so I'll be there worrying and stressing and worrying, how am I going to do? And I use that as a simple example. People's situation varies. I remember once I was coming in, driving across Blackheath Common. You know, Blackheath Common, it's an open common, no trees, nothing. And at the stoplight, there was a Eastern European man selling flowers. And the thought came to me, how much money do you think that man is standing in the cold selling flowers for his family? He's got a mortgage, he's got family, he's got the food, he's got prepared. And my brother, the tears still came to my eyes because I started, instead of thinking about myself, I started to look at things in a different aspect. So I'm saying this to say that in life general, we sometimes worrying about things and finance and how we're going to cope. And yet, there are people worse off than us. The channel, crossing across the channel from these other countries, nearly 30 people died trying to come to the UK recently. You know, those people are traveling, coming across here. We are saying why, but the stress and the war in their country, they're trying to come for a better place. So the point I'm trying to say, adding on to yours, there's always people worse off than us. There's always people worse off than them. Some people may not have no food tonight. You have food. Some people may not have a roof over there. They're homeless. You have a home. Some people may not have a wife. They live on their own. They're lonely. They're single, or a husband, but they have to cope. So the strategy of life in general has taught us to survive. I like to watch the animal world. I like to watch wildlife. And if you notice wildlife with the animals, as soon as they stray from the flock, they become a prey. And there's something there ready to captivate them. So with us as fellow human beings, we are here to encourage, we are here to support, we are here to lift up the other fellow human being in spite of where they're at in life. So my take on it, sir, in spite of all of us with our integrity and so on, is look at solutions, look at different avenues, look at how we can come out of that rut or that pothole or that gutter, and look at it in different aspects. And sometimes us, including myself, we have to learn and develop to manage our stress, to manage the cares of life, to manage where society. I have family in Canada. When I speak to them, they have their stress there. I have family in the Caribbean. When I speak to them, they have their stress there. I have family in Africa. Everywhere we live in a very problematic world. But we have to develop strategies to cope in the world that we live in. So my take on it, sir, loud and clear, we have to just develop and learn our skills in coping mechanism to move on, because as one problem fix, another come. Even the man and woman who has money has their own problems. So thank you, sir, for your encouragement and what you're saying, but we have to develop strategies to overcome the world we live in. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much, our Chief of Protocol for the class of Steele, Your Excellency, Dr. Donald Ewers. Thank you for your contribution this evening. I have a guest, and I see iPhone. and I want to identify our guest. Would you please introduce yourself and share your comment on what you've heard this evening in the class? And I can call you iPhone because I don't see any name. So our guest iPhone, please unmute yourself and just tell us your name and you know who invited you, and just share your thoughts on the class this evening.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. We can hear you, and I think that you're just in the UK, and you seem to be the guest of His Majesty the King. Am I correct?
Very correct.
And you're the person that I would have spoken to this evening. Please introduce yourself to the class of Steele. You said you've always wanted to be here. Now you're here. So introduce yourself, tell the class of Steele who you are, and then share your comment on this evening's class. And I want to thank His Majesty King Edwin Madu for inviting you. You're very welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Minister Pascal, and I'm a health and safety consultant based in UK. I'm into empowerment and employability. And I'm glad to be in this platform this evening because the Majesty has spoken highly about you in particular and about what you are doing. And I had this privilege to partake in this evening, and I really feel inspired. And I benefited a lot again. And I had a lot of motivation from all your prelusions that you elected this evening. But the area that touched me most is the encouragement that you want us not to give up, that to keep going, keep pushing, keep going. And it's a very strong, diverse word, keep going. And that is what, for me, it has really helped me. There was a time in my life, so many years ago, when I found myself in the lowest ebb. I think that type of thing you said today made me to rediscover myself. So I was at the verge of thinking of committing suicide, taking drugs, and just to pass, I feel I can't carry on again until I come to realization. I say, no, it doesn't even worth it. And with where I am now, if I have done that then only God knows what would have been the fate of so many people that have benefited from me, especially in the community. I'm doing a lot of community program. You know, I'm not part myself that I wanted to give up there. I'm not part of the game changer. And starting from where you stop, that is, how do we get that? The only way not to give up is to condescend to hope and appreciate yourself. And there's an adage that says by Shakespeare that a living dog is better than a dead lion. When you're alive, there's a hope. And we have all got something in us. When we appreciate ourselves and think, ask yourself, whom am I? What is in me? Everybody have got something to offer. Because we don't realize ourselves, most of us continue to dwell in blame culture, blaming government, blaming brothers, sisters, mother, nobody is happy. But there is something in you. Then if you discover it, and I was in that lowest ebb, hopeless, no job, nothing, no friend, rejected, dejected, until I discovered myself. I didn't know I was having it. And what was it? I used to work in the railway, something happened, something very catastrophic happened. Then the family I brought from Africa, suddenly they called police. I was kicked out from the home. I lose my car, lose my job. I was in a high position as a senior safety manager for the whole railway. And shame, disgrace, my friends, most people, I was looking for pity party, but something coming to me and become a drunk, go back to smoky, until one day, nobody advised me. I can see people making mockery of me. Then I said, no, this is enough. Then I need to stand up again. I am Pascal. Then when I come to that realization, then just a minute, my phone is playing off. So when I come to that awakening stuff, then I never know. I didn't have office. I was no benefit. Tiny couldn't help anything. Like the excellency was sharing, working, going to look for a job, no transport to go, then going to church. Then sometimes I managed to get there. People will be laughing and all those things. I will still be dancing, but inside me, I'm not sure of anything. But people just say, God bless you. But one day, I rediscovered myself. I went to the station where all the engineers, maintenance companies come. I just see myself taking all the numbers. I took all the numbers and I came back myself. I go for all this job, I can't get job. But all this job, all my friends who have no job, I started calling the job for them and they go for interview. And I prepare question, started giving them pre-training, booking them for railway job. Before you know it, I have no office. They will meet me in a restaurant. First of all, because I'm waiting for them, they will buy me food. I will buy my Guinness and happy them to get job. They give me money. Before you know it, the news spread, 10 people started making money. Before you know it, I set up office. For the past 25 years, this is what I start to do. This is how I discover myself. Myself who was unemployed. Every job hate me. If I go for a job, they will not take me. I take people to the job, they will take them. So I didn't know that was my strength. I discovered it, I built on it. Before you know it, I started having accreditations and other things. It is easy. What we are looking for is within us. I discovered this. God has been my paymaster. I pay people and everything. God gave me the solution because I discovered all those stuff, humiliation, difficulties I was going through. There was a purpose for that. It brought me out from my comfort zone. I became innovative. Today, like I was sharing with the excellency today, I am now one of the game changers, bringing people who are abandoned, who are looked down. Those are my friends. Those people who come out from prison. I change their life, train them, get them into a job. Government giving me funding. It gave me peace. So if I look at my situation then, I continue to pity myself, I would have been written off. But what I'm saying, building on what the excellency said, we should have hope and discover what is in us, appreciate ourselves for even the head of living. And when we do that and realize ourselves, we discover there must be one idea. One idea can change the whole world. So I'm very happy to be a partaker of this, and I will not give up, and I will continue because I have a dream. Men should have a dream. We should not be slothful. If you have a dream, you will not give up. You think you don't fight like that. I can fight. I'm a character. I'm a judoka because I would like somebody to blind me. I don't want anything to abort my dream or my vision. I can hit somebody and he's dead. I will go on detention. No. So I pursue peace because I have a dream. I can cry when I'm sick, but I have to look after myself healthy. And my dream, I'm very optimistic. My dream must come to pass. I see myself as a financial pillar. I need people like you to be a stakeholder with. My dream cannot come alone, can be accomplished. I need people to work with me, vision accomplishers, vision analyzers. Have a dream. We can change the whole world. I'm here in United Kingdom. I have a dream in the people of Africa. I look around the whole United Kingdom and I don't see anybody carrying load on their head. But when I go back to third world country, particularly the country I come from, Nigeria, I see people carrying load on their head, traveling miles. It's unsafe, it's antisocial, it is historic. People are not ashamed because it's like that is how we do it. But can we change that? Yes. How can we create the awareness? That's an idea. I can be a billionaire. I can now I'm meeting SLS. I say, okay, this situation, how can I change it? How can we get World Health Organization evolved? How can we get UNIDO and United Nations evolved? Something must be done. I've written down my dream and vision. It must be changed. Creating awareness. If you don't carry load on your head, tell them to reduce it to sizes. Look at United Kingdom. How they are regenerating everywhere, remodernizing everywhere. You don't see people carrying load on their head. They use mechanization. Okay, let me simplify to a simple something. I went to Nigeria. I saw a lot of people carry bag of cement in their head. All the stuff open, entering their mouth, their eyes. All those things all those injections can cause cancer of the lung, industrial asbestosis, but for peanut. But yet, one of the billionaires in that country, one of the richest men in that country, Richard Branson, is the producer or supplier of that product. But they can't even give people those personal protective equipment. I said, oh my God, this is an idea. So I am putting them down. So I am writing book. Now I met a man who, by true majesty, I say is an ambassador to the United Nations. And I know there are portfolios and solutions from there. But somebody had to cry it out, rule of equity. So people are so oppressed. They are dying as a result of that product. Cancer of the lung, industrial asbestosis, because of means of livelihood, they carry cement in their body all over, having dermatitis. So if I have that dream, somebody can be a billionaire, but I see myself as a billionaire because when I start my case, then a lot of less privileged people. So they will know they have a leader, somebody to speak on their behalf. That is what Majesty is doing. That's what the Excellency is doing. So I can see that you are a man of dream, a man of vision, somebody that God is using, God is ready to use to change the situation and circumstances in the whole world. So I gain a lot today that no matter it may be long, we must have dream, we must write our dream down, and our dream is our hope. And when you have a hope, nothing will make you think of suicide or try to give up. Our hope is our joy. Hope is an idea is wet. So that is where I can stop right now, my Excellence. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much for dropping into the class of Steele. And His Majesty will set the appointment for me to meet with you, and it will be a pleasure to come and sit with you with His Majesty. I look forward to meeting with you in person.
I will be very glad. Looking forward to see you, my Excellency.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. And I celebrate your passion. One of the things that Dr. Charles, are you there? Dr. Charles, where are you?
Yeah.
Dr. Charles, have you seen what I told you about your brothers?
Yeah.
You see,
yeah,
Dr.
actually,
Charles, your fellow countrymen
we
are passionate.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. And I believe we're gonna get there.
Yes.
And it won't be too long.
Man.
It wouldn't be too long. Thank you so very much. Sir, could you, if you know how to just tell me your name, let me put your name correct so that I'll have a little bit of time remembering your name. What is your name, please?
Me?
Yes.
Okay, Minister Pascal. Pascal. P-A-S-C-H-A-L. Pascal.
P for Papa?
Yeah, Papa, Alpha, Sierra, Charlie, Hotel, Alpha Lima, Pascal.
You say Hotel Alpha Lima?
Yeah, Pascal, Papa, Alpha, Sierra, Charlie, Hotel, Alpha Lima, Pascal.
Oh, there's an H in there. Oh, that's right. Minister Pascal.
Yes. The feast of Passover, Pascal Lamp.
All right. It's good to meet you. And I look forward to meeting you in person, Minister Pascal. Thank you for being here with us. And I want to honor His Majesty for inviting you to sit amongst us. We're very grateful.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right. Zionist Amaka Curry, Georgina Zionist Amaka, give us your take on this evening. I see you smiling a lot, and I know you take copious notes. What is your take on this evening's submission?
Thank you, Your Excellency. And thank you to all the excellencies in the house. I'm sorry I was a bit called upon by some emergencies, so I've only come in to the class, but a bit late. Notwithstanding, I think I kind of got some understanding from your lecture this evening. Yes, the complexity of life Nobody is a stranger to it, and nobody is exonerated from it. And the strategy for individuals varies. Personally, my strategy is hope. Like His Excellency Donald Hughes mentioned, we need a strategy in life to be able to survive. Yes, I lean on hope, and I lean on past experience. What happened in the past? How did I get through the storm of life? I take stock of my accomplishments, not necessarily something I did physically by my own power, but the innate dexterity that helped me to stand in hope, believing that by the grace of God, I'll get through the storm. God is true to his word. Each storm comes, lifts me up, but each time I'm being lowered to the ground, I still find myself standing, unshattered. So, but like you said, Your Excellency, in one of your quotes, I love your quote. I think I'm going to make myself rich. You're offering what, 1 million or 10 million some few minutes ago. Never mind, Your Excellency. When I sell your quotes, I'm going to make more than that. So one of your quotes, you said, short-term gratification does not justify long-term sustainability. Yes, we go through issues in life and we must endure, knowing that better days are coming, like the song I writer said. And I go back to an example given to us by His Excellency Architect Olukoya, when he was offered very huge sums of money to compromise his integrity. At that point, he was in a dire state. He was in a position to go to compromise his integrity and get himself out of the situation he was then. But he refused, not because he knows what tomorrow is going to bring. The suffering, the pain, the agony, the disappointment, whatever realm of discomfort he was in at that point, there was no measure, there was no telling when he's going to finish, how he's going to finish. So he had perfect opportunity to compromise. And the same thing applicable to all of us here. I mean, if we are in class of Steele, I'm not vouching for everybody, but I believe there's an element of integrity in each one of us, because they say that birds of the same feather, they flock together. So to find yourself in class of Steele, there must be something that connects you to each person here in the class of Steele, and that's integrity. And so, yes, whatever situation we find ourselves, or whatever situation I find myself, I try not to compromise on my integrity. Beautiful name, like a beautiful woman, is something to treasure. And there are instances, it might not be finance. There are instances that could tempt one, to want to compromise integrity because of pain. And being from Africa, this is a place where integrity wants to be preserved, but hardship dictates the two. And at the end of the day, when many people cannot see the light at the horizon because they've been using smoky lantern all their life, they choose to compromise their integrity. But I thank God that I'm here. And one of my heart desire is to be able to go down to Africa and do what you're doing. Our mentor, Your Excellency Bishop Dr. Michael Steele, encourage people, speak into their spirit, point the location of hope so they can choose better and choose a better life. It's the differences, for me, the differences between my discomfort now is waiting for the next day. And when the next day comes, the discomfort is still there. It will not last forever because nothing lasts forever. The food on the shelf has an expiry date. Life itself has an expiry date. So whatever problem I have, it has an expiry date. Things can't get any worse. That's always my take. There is one thing that there are in life, there are processes in life that I use to sustain myself, that I employ to sustain myself. And there are words of wisdom that I employ. I also lean towards spirituality as a Christian. I lean towards spirituality. What I know about my Christianity has never failed me. It has always been the foundation that sustained me. And if you look across other spirituality, you will find the Muslim person telling you in their spirituality what hope, how they found hope. You look at the Buddhist person, they will tell you how they found hope. There is always an element of spirituality that kept me going. And mine was found in the person of Jesus Christ, in my reading my Bible and believing every word that is in the Bible, because from the age of baby to where I am now, I have seen myself gone through problems that the problem never swallowed me. Rather, it made me a better person. And one thing again, I'd like to add to this. I do not like what I've gone through in life, but I don't have enough money to pay for the knowledge I gained as a result of that. There is nobody on this earth that will take me through the wealth of knowledge and wisdom so sweet that I have gained as a result of my bitter problems. Do I want to reinvent the wheel? Do I want to repeat them? Maybe not, but if it does come, I will take my note, my paper, shed the tears, reflect on them, take what is good in it and discard what isn't good, and hope for a better tomorrow. Kim Howard said that it is pretty hard to tell what does bring happiness. Poverty and wealth have both failed. Poverty and wealth have both failed. So if I'm in poverty, do I let my heart sink because I'm in poverty, knowing that wealth itself also fails people? And so it's a case of wherever I find myself. If I find myself in not so good situation, I look back to how I overcame previous problem. And I re-strategize my mindset. The Bible says, be transformed by the renewing of your mindset. I do that quite a lot. Hey, I don't have father here. I don't have no mother. When I was growing up, the values my parents were giving to me, I fought back. I thought they know nothing. I know everything. I'm young. I'm hot-headed. I know everything. Today, they're not here, and I'm kind of wishing, oh, I wish mommy and daddy are here. But they're not here anymore. It's a jungle out here for me. I have to fend for myself. I have to survive. But I don't have to do that anymore by emotional overdrive that leads to pessimistic outlook. I'm optimistic all the time. If I have to eat, I thank God. If I don't have to eat, I know a better day is coming. So In all, I do my best not to compromise my integrity. It means a lot to me. Integrity is my big brother. Integrity is my bodyguard. Integrity is my wealth, is my money. And integrity is that big, big, big mirror that says to me, hey, you're beautiful. Stay that way. Thank you, Your Excellency.
You're very welcome, Zionist. Thank you so very much for your submission. And I like the fact that you honed in equally on what keeps you, because I'll be very honest with you, like anything else, what has kept me is my faith. And I say to individuals, don't despise a man of faith because you do not understand his interpretation of his faith. Don't despise a man or woman's confidence or strength in the time of adversity or weakness, because all of us have something or someone that keeps us sane. And I appreciate the fact that in the midst of everything, the one thing that you hold on to, and I say all the time, people in the class of Steele, they might get annoyed with me after a while, and it might make some people feel very uncomfortable, but the most important thing you have in your life is your integrity. Nothing is more important than your integrity. I've had opportunities to operate without integrity, and I rejected them, and I will tell you the truth. And this is very human and very real. I will tell you the truth. And I sat down, sometimes the water ran up my eyes. Why is it that at a desperate time when I need an opportunity, a real opportunity comes, but it is one that dictates I have to not have integrity? Well, I guess I'm going to be going through this suffering for a little bit longer. And tears would run out of my eye, but the reality is that at the end of that journey, the results that I have personally might not be the immediate gratification, but the satisfaction that I thought I was going to not make it through this period. And I recognized that, wow, I did. I made it through that period. And you might feel that you can't make it because it looks long, but my goodness, time flies when you are having fun. My son was just born. I just saw my wife's stomach huge, and now he's 7 years old. So time flies. I want to ask Her Excellency Adiola Olukoya, please lend your voice to the discussion this evening.
Good evening, Your Excellency. Good evening to all the Excellency in the house today. Yes, sir. Look, thank you very much for the topic today. I'm going to start on the keynote where you started. You started with a question that why is it that these days a lot of people are going through so many things. A lot of people are giving up. A lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are doing this and doing that. And from what you said, there's tendency for us as human to forget we're not alone. We usually allow what we go through, what we face to overwhelm us, and make us to forget that, we can go through it, we can come out of it. And, when Minister Hiwes was talking, he said something, about, this wild animals. You notice, when they are together, it's very difficult for their enemy to attack them or to get them. The enemy always look out for a stray animal because it can easily get it. And that's what they always look for. So what the enemy does for us is to make us to feel nobody cares about us. Nobody is feeling what we're feeling. Nobody knows what I'm going through. It's to make humans feel that they are alone. And when they begin to feel that way, they become prey to the enemies. And just like Bishop said today, every one of us are going through one thing or the other in life. But, what makes us different is our attitude towards what we're facing. How do we see what we're facing? Is it that we can come out of it, or is it that we allow it to swallow us? So our attitude towards what we're facing, is very important. From what you said, what we're going through or what anyone is going through is just a process. One would definitely come out of it. Just like, you mentioned something. I've forgotten what is, I don't know which language it was, but, it means that it will come, it will pass. It will come, it will pass. And definitely. So if we can see it that way, that, the trouble will be there, it will pass, the night will come and the day will break. And definitely, if we can face it and trust God, just like Sister Zion has said, our faith keeps us going. If a man does not have faith, there is no way that man, will be able to survive in the midst of everything. The storm will just come and just overwhelm, the person. And I'm just trying to bring the point, everyone has said today, that we really need, to keep moving. And you said that we should not quit. We shouldn't throw away the throwaway. A lot of people are throwing away the throw because they don't know. And linking today's topic to what we treated on Monday, linking it, if a man does not have a vision, that man will easily be swayed away. That man will easily be taking, whatever comes that man's way, the man will not be able to stand it because he doesn't know where he's going. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know what he's going through in life. See the testimony Minister Pascal gave us, today. What kept him, a lot of people in a situation had ended up their lives, without coming up again. But thank God he understood the man and I said, no, I can't bury myself in this situation. I just have to come out of it. And that is how our attitude is supposed to be towards whatever we're going through. It says, I'm just trying to read through what I jotted down. And hey, you said something, and I really like it so much. You said, celebrate every success. Celebrate little victory. That's, the day you found, you needed something and you didn't have the money, but somehow you came across $1, a coin, honestly, at that moment, that's worth $1 billion to you at that moment. And, I had gone through a situation like that, God would just come up and it would be, I say, oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you so much. There were times in the house that, there won't be anything that I'll just search everywhere. I'll turn everywhere upside down looking for maybe something I kept somewhere because I keep things, anytime I have, just keep something, especially my books. I read a lot of books. So my children, they know that, mommy, you must have one money inside your book, one way or the other. And there was a particular time I needed money and I couldn't find. I couldn't find. And I was just praying with them. I said, God, just help me. God just directed me to one bag and I searched the bag. Honestly, the money I found inside that bag that day, I celebrated it. So we must learn to remember the past, not dwelling in the present. That's just my point, relating to what you said. So there is need for us to celebrate, the little success, the little victory, those things. Don't let us just ignore and say, this is not up to what I'm expecting God, to do for me. And let me see what I jotted down again. It said, don't worry or be intimidated by other people's way. You said that, and I so much like that. Don't allow other people's way to intimidate you. If you understand who God has made you to be, You will not let, no. My husband always says something. My husband said, there is a room for you to overtake. You can overtake. And I believe that. So don't look at another person and feel intimidated. But what you should know is, what has God spoken to you? What is your vision? What are you holding on to? If you can hold on to what, no, you will overtake the person and go. So don't let anybody's word or anybody's success intimidate you. Celebrate others. When they succeed, celebrate them, rejoice with them, and trust God for your own, and it will surely come. And lastly, that statement you made, that short-term gratification, I didn't get it right, but I quite understand what you're trying to say. Sister Zanesh referred to the testimony my husband gave. That period, things were really tough for us. To me, it was as if, oh my God, I didn't tell him about it. It was as if, oh my God, can't we take it? Can't you take that one? But God said, no. My husband, we always say, that is Potiphar's wife. That is Potiphar's wife. So I don't forget that phrase. That is Potiphar's wife means, it may look, very beautiful, very robust, and all that stuff, but it's not the real blessing that God wants to give you. So don't take it. Don't fall for it. Run away from it. And that's what I've learned in my life. Thank you so much. Thank you for everybody for your contribution today. I'm really blessed. God bless.
Thank you so very much, Olukula. I want to appreciate you, always, for your submissions. You take notes. You make me proud. All of you in the class of Steele make me proud to keep on doing what I'm doing, because you do add significant value to the class. Chukwuemeka, have I missed you, or are you still with us? Chukwuemeka.
Hello, Your Excellency. Good evening.
Good evening.
And good evening to all the excellencies in the house. Thank you for today's teaching again. It's wonderful. And myself, I picked the aspect of not to give up and to always be appreciative of another opportunity to try again, so as to better myself and expect better things to come. Because from your question, I discovered that, and from your quotes, that you said you will not take 1 million USD so as not to wake up next day. But why wake up and complain about not having 100 USD? So it struck me that in as much as I look at myself and I say I don't have 1 million USD, I don't have 100 USD, I don't even have something like this and something like that, there's still need. And there's still need for me to be appreciative that I have an opportunity again to wake up. And in the process of everything, I must never compromise my integrity, because in this part of the world, people say that a good name is better than silver and gold. And your teaching this night has re-emphasized on that. And once again, I say thank you very much. This might take this night, Your Excellency. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Chukwuemeka, for your contribution and your submission. I want to thank all of us, Your Majesty. Before I do my wrapping up session, do you want to say anything, Your Majesty, before I do, or should I just wrap up, Your Majesty?
Yes. Please, Your Excellency, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, Your Majesty. Thank you so very much. You know, I will share this with us. Before I do that, First Lady Jeannie, are you available to add any comment this evening, my dear? My darling, are you able to add a comment to the class this evening?
Hello. I don't have quite comment to share with regards to what was said. As please forgive me, I was absent a bit of the time dealing with Josh and dealing with stuff around the home. But I still want to be an encouragement to you all, wherever you are at, whatever you are doing. I just want to encourage you that you've got this and we've got it together. You can just, if at any point in time you just need a voice, lend your voice, or you just need an ear, you can call myself, you can call Bishop Steele, you have Amaka, I know you're there. We have this group that is such a blessing to us, and we know that we can call on someone in this group that would have our back, even if it's just an ear, because sometimes, we may be in a difficult situation where we might need finances or something physical. But at the end of the day, we know even if we have an ear to just express that it makes you feel a whole lot better, even though the person might not be able to fulfill what you need. But to just know that you have someone there would be of a great help and a great comfort. So I want to comfort you in knowing that we are here for you. I am here for you. Bishop is here for you. And I know we are here for each other. And I want to bless you and continue to keep going, because we've got this, and I know God has got us. And for those out there who are listening on YouTube and all the other platforms that you would find our class, if you need that kind of support, you're welcome to come to the class of Steele. And we are happy to be able to give you that support that you may need in whichever way, however we can. We just pull whatever resources we can together to be there.
Han, you gotta say that last part again, darling. We miss you. You just went off. Darling, you've just gone mute, my love.
You. Sorry.
Okay, darling. The last part you heard was to those of you here that want to join us. Go ahead.
Okay, I was saying to those who are watching us live on YouTube or Facebook or any of the social media platforms who would also, just like that support, even if it's just someone to listen to you or someone to give you some advice, feel free to contact us or reach us through whatever media there is. Our numbers are available on social media, our email addresses are available, and we will be happy to give the support that we give to each other, to you as well, because we know life can be quite challenging, but we're not alone. We are definitely not alone. So I just want to say again, God bless you all. I love you all. Have a good night and keep on keeping on.
Hey, that's my words. Keep on keeping on. Well, with that, I want to close with something that have changed my mentoring and something that has empowered me profoundly, and it has impacted on me. One of my fathers or mentors, the Bishop Jerry Steele from Barbados, and he took me under his wings as a young man, and I had the privilege of going to seminars and conferences for leaders when I was 20 and 21 years old. I was a young man, but I was in men's conferences and men's seminars and getting on stage as a young boy in a men's environment. But one time I went through devastating time. And I went to speak with him, and I could tell you what it was. It was a separation that went into divorce. And I went and I sat with Dad. I call him Dad. And something profound happened to me. So I was sat with him, and he was on the computer. And he was saying, Mike, look at this, look at this. And he was showing me these crazy cartoon jokes. Picture me, heart torn out of my chest, I'm wounded, and I just really want to sit down and talk. I, you know, just deal with the pain. And he sat on the right side in his chair, rocking around, and he had his big screen, and he was showing me these cartoons. Look at this one, look at this one. And I'm looking at these cartoons and I'm not finding them funny. How many of you know when you're going through serious pain, your funny bone doesn't work? So I'm looking at all these cartoons, and he's Mike, check this one, check this one. So I'm sat there, and after a few of them, I started to get annoyed. I started to get genuinely annoyed and frustrated, because my marriage had fallen apart, and I'm feeling as a failure, and I don't even know how to fix a problem that I don't even know how it got created, and I was really freaked out. And he was my mentor and my friend, and my daddy, my father, you know, the person that was there for me. And he was telling me all these silly jokes, man, showing me these cartoons and these clips that he collect. And I went to say to him, because I was sat and I'm looking at them, and inside of my head, I'm saying, come on, man, are you serious? Is this what is like counsel? Is this what I come to sit down to just like stare at your computer screen? You know, come on, man. And this is what I'm saying inside of my head while looking at the screen and not seeing anything. But inside of my head, I'm like, what is this? And because he was in a high chair and I was sat in the chair next to him looking at the screen, I looked up at him to say something to him. And when I looked up at Dad, water was running out of Dad's eyes all down his cheeks. He was crying. He was crying. So I instead of saying anything, I turned back, and water ran out of my eyes. And I said, that one is funny, Dad. That one is funny. And he gave me a nudge. You silly. And water was running out of his eyes, and water was running out of my eyes. And then he said to me, I'm going to give you something. And I said, what? He said, I have something for you. I was saving all of this for you. And I still have it to this very day. He gave me 5 gigs of music, 5 gigs of music. And he said to me, here are some of my collections and my secret albums. And, you know, he travels all over the world and he buys albums. He just buys music, puts it on a hard drive, and he gave it to me. Over 5 gigs of music. Goodness, I have antique collectors music that is phenomenal. Instrumental, pianos, trumpets, guitar. And he told me, listen to some music. I said, okay, Dad. And I went home, and there were days I couldn't sleep because of the pain I was going through. And I listened to music till the sun rose. I mean, when you're listening to good music, the sun just rises and you didn't even realize the night has passed. Your victory sometimes is your ability to find a light moment when you desperately want to hold on to the pain or the anger or the frustration. But just like I threw out that scenario, if I give you $1 billion not to wake up in the morning, would you take the $1 billion or wake up in the morning? I'm going to throw a scenario at you. If I give you $1 billion to hold on to the frustration, the pain, and the anger that is killing you, or a choice to just let it go and walk freely, what would you do? You see, it is easy to hold on to the pain and to want, you know, misery loves comfort. How many of you have ever heard that? Misery loves company. The one lesson that I learned, that I mentor and I teach every single person: have a laugh. Don't take yourself so serious. Don't take your situation so serious. Have a laugh. Go and watch a YouTube comedy. My wife and I, in the difficult times, used to watch a lot of funny YouTube clips. Go watch some funny clips. Stop taking life so serious. Stop behaving as if it's the end of the world. Have a laugh. Go to the cinema and go and book a comedy that is showing and laugh. Watch a cartoon. Stop watching and looking at things and embracing things that pull you down, that depress you, that frustrate you. I say to some of my students, don't share with me some sad news sometimes. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm not interested. It's not because I'm being mean. It's because sometimes you need a place of refreshing and renewing and filling back yourself with confidence and good news and a good story. Have a laugh. I'll see you tomorrow if you come to the House of Steele Youth tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm going to share some more with the youth of Africa. And if you're available at 5 p.m. London time tomorrow, join us. But remember, what you do for others is going to reflect on your own character. Because if you're feeling down and you encourage somebody, how could you feel down when you encourage somebody? Go out there and help somebody. Let us get through this COVID period. Let us get through this financial crisis. Let us get through this global catastrophe together. Let us go through this horrible employment period that is causing individuals to don't know whether to turn to the left or to the right. Let us go through this period where jobs are being shut down and closed down because robots are replacing humans. Let us go through this period recognizing that we are each other's keeper. Let us smile with our neighbor. Let us give our neighbor a good word, an encouraging thought. Thank you so very much for being in this class. Have a wonderful evening. I'm Dr. Michael Steele, and you've just been in a class of Steele. I'll see you in the next class. Our classes are on YouTube. They're on Facebook, and they're on LinkedIn, some of them. And you can find our website, www.theclassofsteele.com. You can go to theclassofsteele.com, and I've been so busy that I've not done much updates and adding things to it, but we'll get to that eventually. It's not going to go anywhere. We'll get there. And I want to encourage you, check out our YouTube videos. We've got over 100 videos on YouTube with every subject. Just real people telling the truth and talking real. Look at the Class of Steele on YouTube. Check out the videos and sit back and relax for an hour with yourself or a friend and get some good advice and have a laugh, have a smile. Thank you so very much for being with us. On behalf of my lovely wife, Jeannie Steele, who keeps me afloat and keeps the Class of Steele going, I love and appreciate you. Good night and God bless. Bye-bye, guys.
Night. Good night, Your Excellency. Good night.
Good night, Your Excellency.
Good night, all Your Excellency in the house. God
Bye-bye,
bless.
guys.
Bye-bye, everybody.
You can make a little bit.
Good night, Your Excellency.
A pleasant good night.
Good night. Your Majesty, thank you for staying with us tonight. To you and your guests, have a wonderful evening, Your Majesty.